Yeah, back to what you were saying, Sparta, about the gaming community.
Less of the gaming community, more of like Sony and Microsoft. It's more that people, well, I guess it is kind of the community too. People are more excited about like what the Scorpio and the Pro PS4 Pro is said to offer, yet I forgot exactly what the fuck I was gonna say.
I mean, you talking about in terms of like what they're going to be, as opposed to like trying to go against PC gaming or inferior PC gaming.
Yeah,
he was talking about more like how they didn't release the full potential from the get go, and how they gotta release it later on in the life cycle. That's what he was talking about.
Oh yeah, essentially the base PS4 and Xbox One came out gimped. Now 4 years later they wanna, well, for the Xbox One 5 years later, but 4 years later for the PS4 they released the Pro. It's still gimped. It doesn't have a 4K Blu-ray drive in there, so what the fuck? What is the? Does it make no sense? Now, sure, not everybody has a 4K TV, but that's not the point. The fucking Xbox One S has a 4K damn disc drive in there. Why the fuck doesn't the PS4 Pro? But it's like they're doing this in fear of the rise of PC gaming, because believe it or not, PC gaming is rising more and more. More people have seen that these consoles are becoming weaker, and regardless of like the few companies like WB Games that release shit games on the PC, i.e. Arkham Knight, it's like
MKX.
They don't. Yeah, and MKX, because Witcher was fine, but MKX and Arkham Knight, they don't seem to like.
Dying Light was fine too, from my understanding.
What?
Dying Light, the PC on that, I think that was pretty good. That was pretty
I forgot
good too.
that was WB Games.
It's really hard to remember that motherfucker was WB Games. He's like, you have to like boot up the damn game.
Yeah, Dying Light was good too, but it's like, and the plug and play argument for these consoles, that shit's out the window. Like, if I have to update my damn games every fucking like 2-3 weeks, update the damn firmware, the damn PSN is down every other month, like what's
Basically,
Yeah,
your gaming life is over.
yeah, I started thinking about that too when I was making like the script for the video, and it's like PlayStation users are going like through a whole lot of like holes to jump through just to get the chance to actually like play the game, and then the fact that the PSN is like down it's damn near every time I turn around. I know Xbox goes down here and there, but Xbox really really goes down and around like the holidays, and that's when the motherfucking assholes who just think they're the goddamn knights and saviors of the gaming community decide to hit them with DDoS and all that stuff, or whatever it is that they do.
right? It's like, I know people will be in defense of Sony or whatever. It's not down every other month. Yeah, but it fucking feels like it when I actually want to play an online game. But it's fucking. But what really doesn't. I'm gonna sound like Peter Griffin. What really grinds my gears is fucking. Just that all these like higher end parts for like, you know, graphics cards and shit like that are becoming way more affordable, yet the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One came out and were just, they weren't bad when they first came out. It was more the software and, you know, the games that were that weren't up to snuff, which is granted it's a console launch, so you don't necessarily expect the cream of the crop to come out then.
No, but yeah, I gotta at least expect some games that could, like, I could say definitely could not have run on the 363 gen. I know on the launch of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, like, there was a lot of games that came out that could have been on the fucking 363 gen. And some of them actually are. It was just remasters of games. We saw remasters up until, like, shit, we're still seeing remasters. Yeah, we're still seeing remasters.
I mean, one game that stands out from that is like Infamous Second Son. That could not run on the PS3.
Yeah, that was pretty much it though. Dead Rising 3, that, I mean, minus, hold on, I don't want to say that. I almost said like minus like all the zombies I was on screen, but I seen about that many damn zombies on fucking Dead Rising 2. It was just more like patches and not just a bundle. Like, that was really it that damn game did. It was just slightly more zombies on the screen that you saw.
And it was open world and not in a condensed area.
Yeah, but they could have easily made that open world too and had that run just from a 360.
And which Dead Rising is going in the direction that it's going. I'm not really a fan of that either. But
it removes like the loading screen. For that particular game, that kind of needed to go away because it fucked with like progression a little bit.
Yeah, but then it becomes every other damn zombie game. So it's like, I don't know, but not talking about that and Capcom's fuck ups. I'm just gonna talk about.
Man, yeah, let's not dig into Capcom.
Yeah, Capcom's gonna be a separate. I'm gonna have that as a separate video actually. If you guys aren't busy, we can talk about that.
Alright.
Because I already know, Damon, I'm sure you are as unhappy with Capcom as I am.
Shit, we all are unhappy right now.
But yeah, it's fucking. It's just the typical argument that came out underpowered. Yeah, whatever. They don't do as much as they should. Yeah, whatever. There's updates all the time, but even then, the user interface is laggy as shit. No backwards compatibility at launch.
Yeah, that's definitely something that they should have already had, especially the Xbox. It's like, it was expected that we'd have backwards compatibility, and they said, no, we're not gonna have backwards compatibility and all this other extra shit that they ended up lying about, and that was a fucking mess. And
like I don't really care for backwards compatibility because I don't have any of my PS3 games, but
man, I might as well have to turn on my PS3 to play my fighting games because they ain't got shit for the PS4.
They could at least like how many fighting games have come out? Like, not many.
Right.
Yeah, I think they probably would have benefited with a little back.
Sit here and wait for Tekken 7 to have some entertainment.
And Injustice 2. Don't forget.
Oh shit!
Shit.
I forgot about Injustice.
That comes out.
If it comes out anytime in November, I can't get. I'm already taking off games off my list of games I gotta get. There's too much going on at the end, towards the end of the year, holiday season.
I'm not really looking forward to a lot of games the end of this year, other than the BioShock collection. But then again, that's a remaster.
To be honest, I don't think Injustice 2 can release a character that I make me interested in. To be honest,
I know all the.
You weren't interested in Harley Quinn's new skin, and I think voice actor.
Look, NetherRealm does not know how to design females. Let's just get that.
Yeah, her face is weird.
Yeah, it really is. I liked her old look.
Katana and Jade's face from Deadly Alliance.
Oh god.
Sure, Katana and Melina look better in MKX, but they still don't look fucking amazing. It's like,
nah, Harley Quinn reminds me of the PS2 era Jade and Katana.
Jesus Christ.
You mean the fucking Janet Jackson look?
Right.
But yeah, it's fucking. Even now, while there's a lot of good games coming out, Mafia 3, Final Fantasy 15, stuff like that, it's like it took 3-4 years for these consoles to have a fucking purpose. But guess what? PS4 Pro, Xbox One Scorpio, like, and I know they claim that they will still be able to be played on the older versions of the consoles, but
I think that's a bad idea in terms of like for the developers themselves, because it's like the PC when the developers are making games, they make games for the two consoles for a reason, because it's like it's simple. Like you just have to do it like twice or 3 times because you got to optimize it for PC and like all the different rigs for the PC. Now you got to do the same thing with the consoles, because you're gonna have like the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, the Xbox One Scorpio, the PlayStation fucking Pro, like all that shit. Like now it's just gonna be like, gotta make all these multiple versions to make it work on all this stuff, which is gonna take even more development, either development time or development money. It's really just a mess in my head. In my personal perspective, I probably won't end up getting the Xbox One S. Well, I'll get the One S because it's smaller and now I have to deal with the power brick. But the Scorpio, in terms of the Scorpio or like the PlayStation Pro, when I do get the PS4, I don't know. I mean, it's just like I don't have a reason to, honestly.
The only reason that the PS4 is even viable is because it's $400. That's the only reason. Because it's literally the same price as the PS4 when it came out. Right. If it was $500, I'd be like,
Yeah, that's my
it still comes down to like what am I really getting out of these products that I won't be getting out of like their previous iterations. Like if I'm still gonna be playing the same games, then I don't see a point to getting the fucking Scorpio, honestly, man. Like, oh, you can get a VR, you get 4K. It's like, until these games can run decently now, I don't give a damn about that other shit that y'all talking about, because we're struggling with this.
Not gonna run very well in 4K.
I'm not saying that they're gonna be running natively at 4K. Yeah. I know they're not gonna be running natively at 4K. Probably like a bunch of upscales,
30 frames or something like that. But they'll probably run at 60 at 1440p, which is what majority of the flagship Android phone screens. That's what they have on them now, and it's like, even then, iOS versus Android. The reason why a lot of iOS games come out on iOS first, it's sure they have 2 fucking phones, but they have the same specs.
Right.
And it's like every Android phone has different specs, different screen sizes, different screen resolutions. It's basically console versus PC there, if you think about it. And it's
true.
It's the same shit. But what doesn't make sense to me is that they're doing this so fast. Like, and I would be okay with it if it felt more, for the games that I play anyway, if it felt more of a
genuine.
If it felt, yeah, genuine. If it felt more like a good advantage, you know.
In terms of making the games more, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, make them more like stable or whatnot. Like Bethesda said, yeah, our engine is scalable to 4K. Yeah, but will it run well? Probably.
Man, so they can get a game that ain't buggy as shit, I'll start listening to Bethesda and what the fuck they say.
Yeah.
In terms of tech, anyway.
I ain't getting Skyrim.
I mean, I'm gonna get it because I haven't really played Skyrim on my 360, and I think I sold it. I can't find it.
Hold on,
at all, so I must have.
Because you got an Xbox, you're gonna have accessible to mods. If I wanted to play Skyrim, I can. My PS3 is right here.
And that also brings us to the new thing, mods. So we know that mods are possible on the console now. It was unheard of until Bethesda, but honestly, Bethesda wasn't really the first to implement community-based content. Like, I know Dying Light was probably, for me, the first thing that I saw that offered like community-based content, because they started doing the community made maps, which were obviously modded maps from the PC community, and then Ark Survival, which is a PC, Xbox One. Wait, hold on. Is Ark on PlayStation? Well, I know it's on those two for now, but that had an update where it had modded some modded content. This big ass map that mostly everybody's just playing that on now, and some other stuff that they announced before the summer, which is also still coming out either this year or early next year. Like so basically, user created content. Like, we know that that's a possibility to run on the consoles, and PlayStation, for the dumb reason they had of, well, we just don't want our system to be accessed or hacked for player-based content. So now they got left behind in terms of mods. So now Microsoft is probably gonna try to capitalize on that and just say, oh, it's just a PC, it's just a Microsoft experience, because PC, Microsoft, not many people are not using Microsoft. But now I just got that argument, and it's sure they won the console war if you participate in console wars, which I really don't advocate that you do. But in terms of like sales wise, it's not gonna look good for Sony as a company for the gaming portion.
Yeah, but granted, that's for like 2-3 games though.
Yeah, but
So,
that's
like,
if they don't make that like a push, like, oh, they don't want to do that. Alright, so let's have these other game developers that we're gonna have these games for multiplayer. Yeah, like, it's setting a precedent. It's all about precedents when you set things. That's how the 363 gen was set up. Like, there was a bunch of precedents that they set that were we expected in the gaming community. Have these Xbox Ones, the PlayStation 4s. Like, we expected a whole lot of things based off the precedents that the previous thing had done. That's basically how I see mods. But yeah, I digress, man. It's whatever. It's all just gonna come down to what if scenarios, maybe if, I don't know. But in my head, if I was Phil Spencer, I would have capitalized on it, because it's like, hey, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, PlayStation gets hacked all the time anyway, so I mean, just
that's another thing. I don't know. I think it's just people who are really trying to hack PlayStation. Honestly, like, I think about it, like, they're getting hacked a little too much for that just to be like a security problem. Or I don't in my head, I don't want to believe that Sony doesn't want to upgrade their security to prevent from being hacked as many times as they are being hacked, because that's up to par like with Microsoft, because I don't hear Microsoft getting hacked unless it's the holidays, and then it's all fucked up, and I gotta start changing passwords and deleting card accounts and all that type of shit.
Gotta start changing passwords. Holiday season.
I don't even know, man. It's just a lot of wild shit going on. And then,
but I'll remain the same way as I did when mods first came out. That, especially since it's just Bethesda doing it, because, you know, Bethesda.
Yeah, that game doesn't take too much effort to really run though. Hold on. I don't want to say that loosely. It doesn't take too much to have it supposed to be running the way it's supposed to. It doesn't take too much for them to do that. That's what I really mean to say. I'm not saying that there's not a whole lot of work that goes into making like Fallout, because I've done a little research and this is a lot that you got to do in order to get that motherfucker to function correctly.
Yeah.
But you know, I still.
At the same time, when your base game doesn't run well on consoles as it is, and the mods don't do anything really to fix it.
There's some things that they could do. For consoles specifically, it's just gonna come down to the mod author themselves. The only thing that we're missing as far as the whole mod experience is console commands, from my understanding. Console commands and like things that use a whole lot of fucking textures, like all absurd amount of textures. Those are the only two things that I haven't seen from the Nexus onto the console. But other than that, UI fixes and frame rate fixes, that's on there, and it actually has been helping some people. It hasn't helped me because I've downloaded them. I already got enough shit as it is to boot when I start up my game, so it's probably gonna fuck up anyways. But yeah, that's just me just thinking out loud based off of what I've experienced for those specific moments. But yeah, Bethesda is the only one that's really used mods, like mods, and have it be like, alright, I want to go check out the mod menu to see what they got today. Download that, boot it up, run it. It's running, cool. If it's not, probably have to switch up the load order and shit like that. But then again, we still have other companies like the people who made art. They have user-created content on there, but they use that as through the update. Fucking Dying Light, they have community-based, like, community maps and stuff like that. That was made on the PC community, which I thought was going to stay on there, but they ended up bringing it over to the consoles too.
And even then, Doom has Snap Map.
And then Doom has Snap Map, so it's like there's a lot of different implementations on like user-created content that's making its way to the consoles, and it's not just staying as a PC exclusive experience. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from like the consoles themselves, like we know they're underpowered. We covered that. Now it's coming down to developers and the gaming people, the player, you as the player, man. There's a lot going on, especially nowadays when it comes to like trying to get these games to run.
Me as the player, I feel cheated.
How so?
Well, going back to my fighting games, nothing releases whole anymore.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like, what was it? Street Fighter 5 that came out without the story mode?
Without story, without challenges. It still doesn't have an arcade mode. Like,
hell, even Overwatch didn't even have a competitive mode. That was a pretty competitive game.
But at least then it was fun just doing quick play.
True, but it didn't make sense not have something for those who want to take it to the next step. I mean, they are charging $60 fucking on the console, but you know, it's whatever.
Wait, for what?
Overwatch being charging $60 and not even having a fucking competitive mode. Yeah. Oh, these they marking up these prices for games that could be less just for the sake of having it cost $60. Like that's another thing that needs to fucking change.
Overwatch should be $30, but yeah.
Yeah, Overwatch definitely should be 30.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All it has is like just go in online, play random games.
All it has is good gameplay and good characters. That's all it has.
It reminds me of the old Avatar games that used to be on the 360. Well, I guess still are on the 360. It's not like the 360 servers shut down. They probably won't for the lifespan of the Xbox One anyway.
I'm surprised they haven't shut down PS3 yet.
I don't recommend doing that. I don't recommend doing that unless you get like 2 generations ahead, then yeah. But this generation kind of just took off in a manner that it should have taken off when it first launched. Like it just did that kind of like last year, really. That's when we started seeing like really good games on this generation.